start dropping more content more frequently as we get closer to PlayStation 5. Um, Now, there's a few things I want to talk about. If you guys haven't noticed, if you load up your PlayStation 4, and this goes for anyone who is currently looking to, hey, I'm gonna get a PS5, and since it's already backwards compatible um, to PS4 games, I'm just gonna go right ahead and trade in my PS4 Pro or my regular PS4 first and second edition. Um, don't do it. And the reason why I say don't trade in your PlayStation 4 is because if you guys remember when PlayStation 4 first was announced, Mark Cerny was very, um, how do I say, he was very leaning towards letting everybody know that PlayStation is becoming, its own ecosystem in a sense. Like every PlayStation, they want to like coexist in some shape or form. I know what you're saying. You're gonna say, or know what you're thinking. You're like, well, PS5 doesn't play PlayStation 2 games or PlayStation 3 games, so how do they fall into play? Technically, through PlayStation Now, they do, but no one really wants to pay for a service. Me personally, I think that PlayStation Now should be an added service, to the PlayStation Plus. I always thought that it should be that way. It's kind of like how Xbox is doing their Game Pass. Um, so I don't know if Sony will ever go down that route or if has considered it or at some point, but it's something that they should do. Now, one thing is not a lot of people know this, but PlayStation 4 actually plays PlayStation 1 games. Yes. If you pop in a PS1 game, your PS4, you'll be able to play it. Um, it has a modulator in there that allows them to run the games. But for some reason, Sony doesn't focus on allowing their newer systems to play PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games, which I don't understand. But hey, obviously that's an answer that only they can give. Um, so with that being said, what I want to get at is like the reason why I'm telling you do not get rid of your PS4, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just trade it in and get me a PlayStation 5 when they become available. Now, heads up, if you guys don't know this, PlayStation 5 will be available on the 12th through online purchase only. And I think the third wave, because this would be, yeah, the first wave is the pre orders, the second one is the availability online, and I think the third wave is coming Black Friday. And from what have understood, is that after Black Friday, probably not going to see another wave until maybe closer to Christmas. And then from there, it might kind of slow down a bit, depending on how this pandemic all goes. But either way, back to the point of emphasis here: do not get rid of your PS4. I'm going to tell you why. If you are one of those gamers that hey, play I want to play in my living room, but I have my PS5 in my bedroom, and I don't want to hook all that, and you know I gotta go through the whole motion of taking the base off the PS5, putting it horizontal, putting it vertical, whichever the situation may be. Guess what? You don't have to do that. Sony has added, and if you look closely on the dashboard, Sony has added PS5 Remote Play. Now, you're probably not being able to see this because for some reason Sony blocks off the dashboard when I switch over, but now it'll resume back to the main menu of God of War. But yeah, Sony's added PlayStation 5 Remote Play to your PS4. Now, what does that mean? That basically means that you could put your PS4 in your living room and you load up that Remote Play, and you're able to connect your PS4 to your PS5. So if you pause your game in your bedroom, and your wife, girlfriend, I don't know, your kid, whatever the case may be, wants to watch TV, and they just switch that HDMI but leaving the PS5 on, you could just move to the next room and remote play it off there. Now remember that, obviously the resolutions are different on both systems, but you're still running it off of the PlayStation 5. So I don't know exactly how the frame rates, if there be frame rates drops or whatnot going on with a PS4, due to, obviously, I haven't tried it. But that's great. To me, that's great news. To me, that's 100% Sony sticking to their word, saying, hey, we ain't forgot about PS4 and the PlayStation 4 players who currently can't get themselves a PS5. But when you do get a PS5, we don't want you to get rid of your PS4 because we're still going to focus heavy on PS4. But here's a good way for you to be able to bounce around your house. Now, guys, I can't stress this like any stronger. If you're gonna run any system in your house, whether it's an Xbox One, excuse me, a PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, whatever system you're running in your house, guys, run it hardline. Run it hardline. Run it with an Ethernet cable. When you get the PlayStation 5, you should be running that hardline anyways. It connects to your Wi-Fi faster. It coexists with the Wi-Fi faster. You're not going to have any sort of internet drops. Now I do believe that the PlayStation 5 is coming with that Wi-Fi 6, which is supposed to make the Wi-Fi faster and more responsive. But I don't know. But I just recommend always hardwire your gaming systems. And when you hardwire these systems, just think about it. When you're doing remote play, you should be able to easily zoom, log on, quick, get on there. Especially if you're running fiber internet, you should be able to just click went right downstairs to your basement or your other room or wherever the case may be, while your wife, your parents, your kids, whomever wants to watch TV in the location where your PlayStation 5 is. Now you just move over and you continue on with your game. You just turn on remote play, it'll connect, unpause, and you're ready to go. So, with that being said, that's such a great feature to be added because, a lot of gamers are just kind of like, well, man, I don't want to be moving my PlayStation 5 around the house. Especially if I want to play or, what the case may be. Well, Sony's giving you the option to just move yourself and the remote, which is really cool. I think it was a great move by them. I like everything that Sony's doing right now. I think that what they're doing is, they're really focusing on, like, moving forward in next gen. Now, they're aware that, hey, next generation consoles, obviously you have to upgrade certain aspects of the console and the system, but they're also focused on you as a consumer. Like, they're also looking at things in the sense of, hey, what can we do to make this experience even better? Let's give them the option to connect their PlayStation 4. And from what I've seen in a couple review videos is that there is also a Vita option for PlayStation 5. So if you have a Vita, which I currently still have mine, if you have a Vita, like, don't get rid of your PlayStation Vita. I don't believe that Sony has fully given up on that hardware. Now, obviously they've given up on it in a software perspective. I haven't really seen any games come out for Vita in a while, but I always said PlayStation Vita had the opportunity of a lifetime to take over for, you know, be a great successor for the PSP. Um, and the biggest thing with the PSP was, you know, it had some good games, but the PlayStation Vita, its biggest downfall was it made the same mistake that the PlayStation 3 made. When Sony first came out with the PlayStation 3, their mistake was the price tag. When they dropped that price tag, it was disastrous. They had no IPs really. They didn't really have any interesting games coming out. They were pushing Lair, and Lair didn't really hit as they thought they would. You know, it was just a disaster, and I think they learned from it. But the only thing that they didn't learn was when it came to the handheld games, that the memory cards were the downfall. Those memory card prices were outrageous. Like, I don't even think you still can't get them on sale. I don't know. I haven't really looked in a long time, but you needed the biggest memory possible for a PlayStation Vita to actually, you know, download games and have a good extensive PlayStation Vita library. So like I said, I don't, you know, the software is obviously not, you know, being developed for it, but from what I heard, the PS5 does have an option for the PlayStation Vita. Now, what exactly is that going to do? I do not know. Is it an option that will be there on launch day? I don't know. Because Sony can remove it if they want to. They could remove that option. They could go ahead and take it off, and basically your Vita is exactly what it was. Piece of hardware that you own, and I guess when you go traveling, you could do it. Now, with that, I wish that if they do keep the Vita going, in a sense, I do wish that they give it some sort of unlock to, you don't have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi to connect to your PlayStation 5. You should just be able to log into your account and hit PS5, and your PS5 should turn on from home. Now, I don't know if that would be possible, but obviously, you know, I don't know if it's a downloadable patch or what they have to do, or if they have to create a whole new software for it, or a whole new Vita in order to do that. I mean, but it'd be kind of great for Sony to have that option with the Vita, because it'll bring it a brand new life, and people basically treat their Vita like their Switch. So if you're basically going out of town and you want to play, there it is. You just pop out your Vita and continue on with your game, providing that your PlayStation be on, you know, some sort of like rest mode or something. Because obviously it's not gonna turn on if it's off. So yeah, I mean, there's so many good things coming. I think PlayStation keeping everything so close to the chest like they did, they were super quiet about a lot of things. I mean, it was ridiculous how quiet they are and how they were able to keep it so quiet. But I mean, even the dashboard itself, like the PlayStation 5 dashboard, you know, the UI was, they kept that close to the chest, and you know, there's a couple leaks here and there, and finally we got the reveal, and some, you know, the major leak obviously was accurate, but you know, it's just so great to see how they're moving along. And this is not discrediting Xbox in any sort of way, because in all honesty, like, I think Xbox is doing a great job. My only thing with Microsoft is they're doing exactly what they normally do when it comes to consoles. Like, they just give it all to you at once. They sit you down at the table and they're like, here's your main course, here's your entree, you know, here's your sides, here's your drink, and figure out where you want to start. The other thing is, they're releasing this console, and they've had so many problems with software, and they have no software. They have basically nothing coming out for their launch lineup, because this has to be the worst launch lineup for Xbox, and I don't even know how long, because I don't think people were too thrilled about the whole Halo announcement. I mean, there is a very big following for Halo, so I could be wrong, but the minute Halo suffered a delay was the minute that I knew Xbox was in trouble with IPs, and then their focus shifted to the Median, which the Median was a major IP also for them in the sense of, hey, we're going to focus on this Silent Hill-ish kind of exclusive game to us, and we're going to push it, and it's going to be a really weird game. It's got this Alan Wake-ish kind of vibe, so let's focus on that. Let's push this. So what happens? The Median now is delayed. Now, these things happen. Delays happen all the time for whatever reason. I mean, look at Cyberpunk. It's been delayed like 3 times. So, but you should really try to like not get your launch titles delayed, because I mean, what are they coming out with right now? Look, IGN the other day rated both systems an 8. How is that possible? How did you rate the PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X the same as a PS5 when they really don't have any launch titles? And the reason why I bring this up, and you're probably sitting here like, oh, well, it's based off specs and other stuff. If you read the IGN review, they were very clear. They didn't really focus on the specs of the systems. They were focused on the fact, they said PlayStation basically got an 8 because of their launch titles. Like, their launch titles saved the day for them. It's like, okay, great. You know, other than that, the remote is being appraised. The system itself is being appraised, but people, you know, obviously IGN found a couple things that they wanted to point out. But I wanted to emphasize the fact that IGN focused on the launch titles for the reason of giving them the 8. Now, when it came to Xbox, they reviewed it, gave it an 8, and basically gave it an 8 because it had no launch titles. How do you score both of them the same? Makes no sense to me. I don't understand. Xbox is banking on people buying the system, and they're really pushing their Game Pass. Look, when it comes down to it, if I was Microsoft, I would have been a game changer. I would have discontinued hardware entirely. I would have just basically said, hey, the console war is over, and it's time to start a new generation of gaming. And what I'm trying to get at with that is basically I would have pushed Xbox Game Pass as the new norm for video games. Why? You can access it on your phone. You can get your controller and, you know, place it there. You know, do monthly, 3-month to a year subscriptions. You know, maybe they didn't want to do that because, hey, after 5 years you're still paying, you know, when it'd be easier just to buy a system and put it on there and that's it, a one-time deal. But think about it. How many people want to get rid of like Blu-rays and DVD? Everything's moving digital. So obviously I'm pretty sure that's the focus. That's the road they're going down. That's why they're emphasizing Game Pass. But I would have done it now. I would have just dropped the hammer and said, hey, would you rather be able to play at your convenience whenever you want, wherever you want? All you need is your phone, a tablet, your computer, whatever it is, and your smart TV and a controller. And you connect and you have access to all our titles, old to new, which is what they're doing. But it's like, by doing that with the mobile, you just killed your digital system. What is the point of selling a digital system when I could sign up for Game Pass right now and play it anywhere? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's completely and utter like nonsense to me. And some of you might be like, oh, well, that's great. Maybe some people want their digital console, maybe it doesn't connect the way you think it does. Well, I can mirror it. We're in the age of smart devices. My TV is a smart TV. I'm pretty sure half of you have a smart TV. Those who don't have a smart TV, I could understand. But I can AirPlay from my phone to my TV. I can Google Chrome from my phone from my TV. Like, I can mirror everything on my smart device to my smart TV, whether it's through my smart TV or through my Apple TV, or through my Google Chrome or whatever it is that you may have. You're able to do these things. You have this option. Now, as to why you still think that I'm wrong, okay, well, only reason I believe that it's the right move is because, once again, you're killing off your system. Your digital system's not even that strong. First off, it's basically like the Series X is the Cadillac, and your digital is like a Mazda. So it's like luxury, economy. They're not. They don't even coexist in the same realm. I mean, the digital version doesn't even push out the same resolution. And with the PlayStation, they were like, "Hey, you want a Cadillac? Here's another Cadillac. You figure out how you want this. The only option is, hey, you're gonna get the premium disc drive, or you could just get it without. So it's like a car that comes with premium options, and then you got the base model. It's the same car, it's just the options are different. So that's what PlayStation basically did. Why Xbox didn't do that, I don't know. Now, people that are out there saying, "Oh, well, Game Pass is, great because I can play it anywhere and blah blah blah." Well, guess what? I don't know if you've noticed, but PlayStation Now has been doing that for quite some time. That's not a new option, guys. Like, both these services have been giving you that option to do it for quite some time. You can literally Bluetooth a controller to your phone and access your PlayStation Now library and play. I mean, I don't know exactly why certain people out there think that was never an option, but it was. So, before this turns into like a bash Xbox rant, once again, it's not. I'm not bashing Microsoft. I think that they have potential here to equally level the playing field, because a lot of people too are throwing out their teraflops. Like, guys, understand something, that the teraflops that they speak of, it don't always hit the number peaks that they suggest. I've seen a couple videos where a lot of people are still questioning, like, where's the teraflops? Where's this? Where's that? Now, do your research on teraflops. I'm not going to get into it because it's a very long. It's kind of a very long explanation, or some people might not understand. I'm just saying, do your own research and find out, exactly how teraflops work. Everybody has their own understanding of things, so it's best that you look it up, and you will see that the teraflops, the 12 teraflops, the 2 extra teraflops that Microsoft is offering you, does not do anything special. It's not a game changer. It really isn't. It's not like how people are talking about PlayStation's SSD being a game changer, because first off, you got to keep in mind, this SSD was specifically made for PlayStation. Specifically. It's not like they went out and got a Samsung SSD or something like that and put it in. It was specifically designed for PlayStation. Now, what this SSD is doing, it makes these loading times so much faster. The read time is so much faster. So this SSD in the PlayStation 5 is actually a game changer, because there's not one like it out there. Now, from what I have understanding from a lot of reviewers, that's what they're saying. There is not one other SSD out there like it because it was built specifically for that system. And the way it reads is fast, super fast. So, which is why a lot of people are like, oh, well, why can't this is ridiculous. Why can't I have an external hard drive connected to my PlayStation 5 and save my PlayStation 5 games? Simple, because the formality and the formats in which these games are designed now are more leaning towards, how the PlayStation 5 is built. Soon they're going to issue a patch where you'll be able to save your games to an external hard drive, but I guarantee you that it would not be able to be a regular hard drive. You would have to buy an SSD hard drive. I'd be really shocked, and I think it'd be great if it was a standardized terabyte hard drive. But other than that, I believe they're gonna want you to keep and purchase an SSD hard drive, which you can out there. They're about like $145. I think I've seen the cheapest one. Westinghouse is saying that they have compatible SSDs with PlayStation, and PlayStation has issued a statement saying that do not go out and buy an SSD and change the SSD on the PS5 because you're going to run into issues and it might not work. They don't have a licensing with anyone else other than the one that's built in there. So ultimately what I'm getting at here is, like I said, it's not an Xbox bash session, but Xbox could find should have thought about something a little different. I don't think that their boat is sailing in the direction that they believe it is, because no launch titles, these teraflops that they've hung on to with dear life aren't really hitting 12 teraflops as they said. It's actually dropping down from what I've read and seen on reviews. Their teraflops dropped down to a standardized 10.8 or something along that lines. It's not 12. Does not hit that peak. And the other thing is, the PlayStation has a different HDR option, where Microsoft's HDR option is a bit lighter. But other than that, I mean, Microsoft's basically running the same thing. The memory card in the back is specifically built by Microsoft, and I believe they got to issue a patch for external hard drives. But you guys really think about it. So far, Bugsnax, another PlayStation game that was really shocking that I saw the review number. They both got 8s. So far, these indie style looking titles that are coming out, this version, they're not necessarily AAAs, coming out for PS5 are getting 8s on the reviews, 4.5s on the reviews, 4.0 on the reviews. So damn near perfect games, and they're not even household name games on the PS5. I haven't seen an Xbox game review because I don't believe they have any. They don't have any in development. I don't know. I think they're banking on Game Pass, and they're banking on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which will be coming out. Obviously, that's not a launch title for them because it's coming out, on multiple systems. So, I don't know how well they're going to be received with no games. So, but like I said, I think that they're banking on Game Pass and the upgraded, hey, you could play your games in this resolution. I think Gear 5 is supposed to be around there too. I think that one got reviewed pretty well, if it did get reviewed. I don't have to look into that. But like I said, I just don't think Xbox's boat is sailing in that direction. And I think Sony saw that direction maybe at one point and was like, nah, we're going the other way. And it's obviously worked out for them. Because, the Japanese giant is once again making a lot of noise at a very quiet time. They were super quiet and they're making a lot of noise. There's a lot of buzz. their pre-order situation was a little out of hand, but just look, it took PS4 12 weeks, literally 12 weeks to sell out. I believe it took 12 seconds, or I mean, like 12 seconds or 12 minutes for the PlayStation 5 to sell out, and that's ridiculous. That's insane. Um, I wouldn't be shocked to see the PS5 really climb up there fast. Sony's projecting it to climb up there fast, so I don't wouldn't be surprised at you know that happening. But ultimately, this remote, like I said before, this remote play option is great, and all the support that they're getting and the support that they're going to be giving out to their ecosystem, like the PlayStation VR. And I think that right now they're not really focused on like, hey, let's make a PlayStation VR 2, because I don't think that they really want to kill the PlayStation VR 1 just yet. Um, I mean, that piece of hardware is 100% still intact, and it's great. It still moves. It's got its little kinks here and there, which basically land on the fact that it's not wireless, and also the resolution that it outputs. But Sony already issued that statement saying that, hey, your PlayStation VR is not going to output this resolution. It's going to continue with its native resolution that it outputs for now. And I'm just assuming that they will make a PlayStation VR 2, and they'll go from there. And I'm pretty sure that one will be wireless, and the remotes will be different. But the greatest part about if you own a PlayStation VR is if you ever bought the Move, you already had the controllers to work with it, and the DualShock controller works with it as well. So, and the best part is that PS5 hardware will work with PS4, but PS4 hardware won't work with PS5, which is fine, and it's due to the options that the controller has on the PlayStation 5, that haptic feedback, and the speakers and the audio, all those things. So so without overextending and repeating myself here, like I said, if you own these products such as a PlayStation, a Vita, even a PlayStation VR, like, don't get rid of these products. Keep them in your house. Set up a new way. Obviously, when you get your PlayStation 5, set up a new way in how your gaming system area is going to look, or make some room, however you got to do it. But don't trade these things in. PlayStation is focusing on that real life ecosystem coexisting with each other. So let me know in the comments below. Follow and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, how you guys feel about it. So till next time, this is Gamer XX1. Peace.